All right. Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well. My name is Kaylee Peters. I'm currently in my third year at the teacher education stream at Trent University, and the following is going to be my submission for my 2021 education placement. And I want the title of this to be, Why Do You Sound Different? In my language and literacy course, the main takeaway was that every student, regardless of their differences or anything that holds them back, should have access to the same education as everyone else. One main aspect of that was the idea of multiple intelligences, and how every student can have a different way of learning with their strengths, such as some people are better through verbal speech, some are stronger through physical touch, connections to nature. But there was one unit that we looked at during the course that I want to briefly bring up, and that was the Understanding Exceptionalities unit. Specifically, we were able to look at both physical, emotional, and neurological exceptionalities that may hinder a student's learning and capability to learn. And if you haven't guessed by what just happened, you may have an idea of where this is going. I have had a diagnosed speech impediment ever since I was a child, and as someone who's going to hopefully become a high school teacher in the future with my speech impediment, I want to talk about how we can remove the stigma surrounding speech impediments in schools. I know personally, with having to get up in front of a class to do a presentation, it's nerve-wracking enough. And a common conversation that I would have with other friends of mine, I would always start by saying, I'm scared, I'm going to get up in front of the class, and I'm going to stutter in front of everyone. And 9 times out of 10, the normal response I would get is, oh, don't worry about it, everyone stutters when they're nervous. While it helped, it's not the same, because I know in my mind, having it be undiagnosed and having it be the kind of stutter that it is, it's not the same. While I personally am not a diagnosed speech pathologist, I have done some research on this topic, as it does personally affect me. There are three main categories of a stutter, at least from what I've experienced. The first is the one that I have, where I will get stuck on a sound. So if I try to say the word for example, I will trip up on an F, and that consonant will act as one of my blocks, and we will be coming back to blocks. The second type of stutter is one that is commonly associated and is shown a lot in media, and it's the kind of stutter where someone will repeat a word instead of just a sound. So if someone wants to say, I want to go to the park, someone with that specific kind of speech impediment may say, I want to go to the park. And finally, the other kind of speech impediment that I have seen is probably the strongest block of the three, where someone will try to say a word, but it isn't able to come out, and they will just not be able to say anything at all. And then they'll have to try and work to get to the word they were trying to say. The reason I want to bring this up is because too commonly it is easy, especially in elementary schools with younger children who aren't able to entirely grasp the concept of a speech impediment, to students in high school, where with trying to be popular and trying to balance both school and extracurriculars, it can be kind of easy to see it as being something as entertaining or being kind of hilarious. Speech impediments are still having trouble being properly connected to and worked alongside with in schools, because simply asking a student to go up in front of a class and present and just not worry about stuttering is probably going to make it worse. In my personal experiences, if you just ask someone to not worry about their impediment, they usually start to worry about their impediment, as reverse psychology usually goes. I want this video to act as a kind of a discussion. and I want this to be a video of reflection. Impediments and disabilities and exceptionalities don't and shouldn't be recognized as just being something hard. It's what makes us unique. Just in the same way that anybody can be on a sports team, or be an artist, or be a scientist. Having a stutter is part of who I am. And I don't want it to just be associated as a joke. I personally believe there needs to be more open discussions, not just around speech impediments, but specifically around exceptionalities and how it shouldn't be the reason a student shouldn't speak up or a student shouldn't get involved. There has been a lot of work that has been done with that over the last couple of years, but as I was able to learn throughout my course of the semester, while the exceptionalities have been named, there is still a long way to go. The IEP system has yet to be properly changed in a way that is going to ensure that students who either have their impediments get worse or they haven't grow out of them, or even if they don't change over time at all and they remain the same, still need to be worked alongside with, rather than just being assigned an IEP and be given a more time for a test. I want this video to be from a personal standpoint, coming from a student who aspires to be a high school English teacher, and say, I hope that we can both start and then continue to have open conversations about exceptionalities being a positive aspect of someone's life. It shouldn't be the main cause of their anxiety. It shouldn't be the reason they choose to stop talking in class. And it shouldn't be the reason someone loses their confidence because one mean comment called someone Porky Pig, for example. I know this is a lot to take in, and I know it is an aspect that is not going to be immediately changed in schools, but I do hope the physical impediments, such as the stutter that I have and I've presented in this video, are able to be more openly accepted. My hope is that both students and teachers alike are able to come together and talk about ways outside of IEPs that they are able to be helped. And even if it's just, how can I make you feel more comfortable talking? Or do you just simply need more time to get across on what you want to say? Having an open ear is the first step to success. This is probably the hardest assignment I've ever had to hand in, because this is a video I am choosing to not edit. That's how important this is to me. I am choosing to not hide my impediment away as I usually have been able to with other assignments, because I still believe conversations around this still need to be had. I am very pleased that discussions around exceptionalities have been happening, and I hope that this will inspire other students and other teachers to talk about what makes students unique and how that shouldn't be holding them back. It shouldn't be reason of a ridicule, and it certainly shouldn't be the reason someone chooses to give up what they love. Because I know for a fact I'm still aspiring to be a teacher. I haven't let my stutter get in the way. I know this is not as long as I was hoping it would be. Regardless, from a student standpoint, I hope you're able to take something away from it. Thank you very much.